have a very beautiful visitor here today. A very beautiful senator. Labor rights, I want peace. Labor rights are essential. Let us welcome Senator Audrey Marks. Show our labor rights.
This atmosphere is like an Olympic stadium. Minister Omar Davis, that was the best 1-minute performance I've ever seen. But I'm a female, we need a little bit more time. So I hope you can stay with me for at least 5 minutes. And I'm coming from much further. So this evening, well, this is my first time on a political stage. So I need a little bit more time. It's good to be in West Central St. James with you. There's no more fitting place to be. Because as they say, where the West goes, the rest goes. So I have just 3 things to say this evening. One, I'm here to give my support to your Member of Parliament. I'm here to share why I'm choosing the JLP, and I'm here to share why I'm choosing Jamaica. Your Member of Parliament has chosen to serve you. We came into service around the same time in 2009. Prime Minister Bruce Golding reached out to Justice Marlene Malahoo Fort and took her out of the judiciary. And he reached out to me in the private sector, and we both came into service. She went and became the Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and I went to Washington as the Ambassador of Jamaica to the United States. We worked very well together. It was a difficult period in Jamaica's history. Jamaica was facing sanctions. We had a diaspora that was not so connected to the Jamaica Labour Party. And our job was to reconnect our bilateral relationship and the members of the Jamaican diaspora living abroad. It was not a difficult job for your MP because she's naturally warm, she's hardworking, and she's dedicated. And so she was a co-ambassador for me. And we really did the job to the extent where 1 year later, in 2011, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton came here to Montego Bay and declared that we had an excellent relationship. Jamaica, under Prime Minister Bruce Golding at the time, had an excellent relationship with the United States, and there was no more talk of sanctions. Thank you, my co-ambassador. We came back together in 2016, and the same thing continued. Whenever Marlene came to Washington, she was there representing Jamaica in all the halls of power. whether it's in the United States government or in the international financial institutions, to the point where she is now the vice chair of the network of parliamentarians for the entire Western Hemisphere for both the IMF and the World Bank. And I'm always so proud to go into meetings with her and hear her speak on behalf of Jamaica with confidence and ability. I'm proud of you, and I want you all to be proud of her. So whether she's walking the streets in Granville or Mount Salem or Spring Gardens and talking in the corner shop, or she's sitting in the conference room in the halls of power, she's the same person, dedicated to the job. And so we are proud of the Jamaica Labour Party's work across the country, but this election is about what happens right here. It's about your roads, your children's future, their education, your community safety, and your access to opportunities. That is why we must unite, mobilize, and ensure a resounding victory for MP Marlene Malahoo Fort. A woman of excellence, integrity, and unmatched commitment. This is not just a seat, it's your seat. You must protect it by choosing a leader who has chosen you and Jamaica. And that is why I'm here to support you, my sister. You have proven yourself, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. You know, since it's my first time on the stage and I don't know the rules, I'm gonna share a little story. You know, back in 2009, 2010, Marlene and I met at a diaspora conference in Connecticut, and we got a chance to really sit down and share. And I said, I know this is a bit sensitive, but I hear, you know, the PNP has started a rumor that you're the Prime Minister's girlfriend. And she looked at me and she said, no, I'm hearing that it's you. So, you know, what was not known at the time is that the JLP had a tradition of finding beautiful, talented women from all over Jamaica. The JLP was formed in 1943, and by 1944 contested an election. And from right here, in your constituency, Minister Homer Davis, the first female member of parliament, at the time, Iris Collins Williams. And that tradition has continued, you know, through Madam Rose Leon, Mavis Gilmore, Edith Bennett, the great Babs the Grange of today, and joined by 13 others as members of parliament. The most record of any party, the amount of women serving now in the JLP under Andrew Michael Holness. And there are 5 of us in the Senate. And there are 6 in the cabinet, the most of any cabinet under any administration. The first female chief of defense, the first cabinet secretary, female cabinet secretary, and of course myself as the first female ambassador to the United States, all under the JLP government. But to finish the story, back in 2016, I was called to go back to Washington, and Marlene was appointed Attorney General. So I called her and said, well, let's listen out for the rumors now, because we have a young, handsome Prime Minister. And I said to her, do not deny if they say it again. But do you know what happened? No more rumors. I was never asked if I was the Prime Minister's girlfriend. I think we worked hard, we proved ourselves, reminded everybody of the tradition of the Jamaica Labour Party, and it's accepted that women can deliver when they're appointed to the job. So I want to share with you why I'm choosing to support the Jamaica Labour Party. So after serving in Washington, I came back here in 2013. And, some of you might know my background. I started a business, I had an idea. I was away, and I had an idea to do a business while I was in the United States. I said, this business would be good for Jamaica, to create an online payment system so that persons who are 20, 30 miles away from a commercial office can go to their nearest supermarket or their post office and pay a bill. So I came back and struggled for years to create what is now known as Paymaster. Shortly after I started to operate, we went through a period that was called FinSac, because there was no stability in the economy. You borrow at one rate, and it will compound and drive you out of business in a few years. It went from 8% all the way to 120%. Many people did not survive, and they committed suicide. And I want to emphasize this point because we are taking the gains that we have made for granted, and we should never forget how far we have come. So I managed to survive that period, and I continued in business. But when I came back here in 2013, I was labeled a laborite, and it was told that the decision was made that I should not survive in business. And so, of the over 150 contracts that the company had, the one contract that was with the government at the time was cancelled. That contract represented a significant part of the business. So the decision was made that I'm going to have to lay off a lot of the staff. I had a meeting to lay off this, to call the staff together to say we have to do some layoffs. And at that meeting, when I look in the front row as I'm looking at you now, I had made a deliberate policy to employ many young single mothers. And they were all there looking at me. Some of them had started to cry because they knew what was coming. But in that moment, I remembered that I'm a woman from rural Jamaica, 3 generations of farmers. We had gone through droughts, we had gone through hurricanes, we had gone through floods, and we are resilient people. We always survive. And in that moment, I decided that I would not buckle, we would not fail, we'll keep all our staff, and we would start over and make the business work. And that's what we did. But a very good friend who was a supporter of the PNP said to me, this would never have happened under the JLP government, because the JLP support business women and business. All right, so on to the last point. The last point I want to make is that it's time now to, and I want to say this not just to the audience in here. I want to say this to every Jamaican listening, women, young mothers, rural person, independence. It's time to get off the fence and choose Jamaica because of all that has been accomplished. And I put down here 15 things, but we don't have time to go through it. You'll hear it from others. But what I want to say is Jamaica is on the right track. We have in us a leader, Andrew Michael Holden, builder, and the foundation has been laid. It's time to give Jamaica a chance to continue. Thank you.